Previously, Takao came to bring Seishu back to Tokyo, but he refused. He believes that the island is helping him grow as a calligraphist. He stayed there and celebrated Naru's birthday. The story continues as Seishu tries to practice for the competition, which is in 2 weeks. He remembers how sometimes he feels this strange sensation in his fingers, and due to this, he can draw much better. This occasional inspiration makes his calligraphy very unique and beautiful. But other times, like when he is trying to practice, he can't imitate that feeling or that skill. Lately, he has failed to get into that state of creativeness. He thinks a hot bath might help him calm his mind, but his water boiler is not working. He calls Yujiro, who tells him that his heater will take at least 2 weeks to get fixed. During that time, he asks Seishu to use his wood, water heater. He takes him to the nearby hills and helps him collect the fine wood, ideal for burning. When Seishu turns on his heater, the smoke coming from it is noticed by his students. Naru comes to see what is burning, and then offers to help Seishu. She asks him to go and enjoy a hot bath while she remains outside, controlling the fire. Miwa and Tamako also come there, and they tease Seishu. They leave after a while, and when he comes out, he finds Hiroshi preparing food in his kitchen. He tells him that his mother is not home, so he will try and cook food for them. Seishu also joins him, but the food which Seishu prepares is not as good as Hiroshi's. Hina comes running toward them and tells them that boys from the other village are bullying Naru. Seishu and Hiroshi go to the playground. Seishu tries to intimidate them, but it's of no use. The kids tell Seishu that since Miwa and Tamako took their ground, they are taking the playground of these kids. The kids are not only resilient, but also very clever. After failing to find a peaceful solution to this problem, Seishu decides it's time to use aggression. He, along with Hiroshi, starts hitting these outsider kids with a ball. The kids fight back, but they leave when they notice Aki. Everyone likes Aki, even these kids from other villages. While walking back home, Naru asks Seishu to play Tarzan with them. They ask him to grab the vine and fly like a Tarzan, but he is scared. He tells them that although the vine can handle their weight, it can't take an adult's weight. When they keep pushing him, he decides to break the vine so no one will be able to use it. They try to stop him by grabbing him, and as a result, they all end up on the vine, which breaks. They fall into the water, but only Seishu's head gets damaged. He tells them that it's just a scratch. They all start walking back home. He suddenly feels the sensation in his fingers again. He runs towards the house but loses his way. He ends up lost in the hills behind his house. He sees a shooting star, and he wishes to be saved. Soon his wish comes true, when Naru and others come and find him. Seishu gets inspiration from the shooting star and writes beautiful calligraphy. He sends it to Tokyo for the exhibition. While he is telling Takao his story, he is trying to convince the director to forgive Seishu. He tells him that Seishu is sorry for his actions and he will try to be a better person now. The director forgives him and asks Takao to call him back to Tokyo. Seishu suffers of imposter syndrome, and he wonders if he will ever be able to write the same way in Tokyo. Here in the village, he gets inspired by nature. In Tokyo, these things won't be there to get him in that state of creativity. Naru asks him to play, but he refuses. Naru then shows him the card where he had promised to fulfill any one wish of Naru. He questions his idea of giving her the card. Seishu notices Naru's grandpa building something along the seashore. They go to him and ask him what he's doing. He tells them that he is trying to build a wall that will save them from the typhoon. He asks Seishu to help him. Seishu tells him about the card and Naru's wish. Grandpa takes Naru's card and hands her lovely stone to play with. Seishu begins helping them build the wall, and he quickly grabs the trick. His side of the wall is much better than theirs, he is a natural at this game. They then ask him to help them with the shrine work. They take him to the shrine and show him a board with several names written on it. All these people contributed to building the shrine. Their names were written on wooden boards too, but after so many years the ink has gotten lighter. So, they ask him to rewrite the names. While Seishu is going home with the board, Aki comes, and tells him that he has a call at the store. Takao tells Seishu on the call, that the director has forgiven him and he can now return to Tokyo. Seishu tells him that he will soon come to Tokyo. Later that night Seishu goes to attend his first ever festival. Earlier his parents didn't allow him to participate to such events, and later his work kept him busy. He plays different games, but because it's his first time, he fails to win any game. The kids, however, enjoy his company a lot. They all go and watch the fireworks along the shore. Here, Hiroshi tells them that soon he will be going for his job outside the village. He tells everyone that at least they will have Seishu with them. He tries to tell them the truth about him leaving tomorrow, but the fireworks interrupt his confession. The next day after finishing the pending work, he silently packs his stuff and leaves for Tokyo. Seishu arrives in Tokyo and goes straight to his office. Takao tells him that the director will soon be here to meet him. Seishu gets nervous about how the director will react, and he wonders whether the director will like his new style or not. Seishu starts questioning his talent and skill. He wonders if he could imitate his earlier style, as that was all written on the island. While he is busy doubting his talent, the director enters. Seishu looks, as he uses a cane to walk. Seishu feels very bad for his earlier behavior. He asks for a sincere apology, and the old man forgives him. The director tells him that he didn't forgive him earlier. Instead, he planned to school him when he came back. But now, he feels he won't need to preach that lesson. Seishu has matured during his stay on the island. He then wishes to see Seishu's new calligraphy. He asks him to help stand up and watch his art. Seishu gets nervous when the director watches it very silently. He thinks he doesn't like it, so he throws a drink at it, and it falls on the director as well. Seishu tells him that this was just for practice, and his actual submission for the event will be much better. But the director tells him that he liked this one, and if he had submitted this one, he could have even won a prize for it. But since Seishu believes he can draw even better than this, he looks forward to his final submission. He then leaves the meeting and sits in the car. He notices Seishu's angry father is driving his car. He purposely presses the brakes again and again. Seishu goes home and tries to write something, just like he wrote earlier, but he has lost the spark. He calls Takao for help, but even he can't do anything. Seishu tries weird things to make him feel like he is still in the village, such as tying up Takao and Kosuke. Nothing works for him. Finally, Takao calls his friends in the village. They all gather and talk to him. They tell him how much they miss him. Seishu gets emotional when he talks to Naru, who asks him when he will come back. Naru tells him that they still have lots of things she wishes to do together with Seishu. Talking to Naru serves the purpose as he gets inspired to draw again. He rushes to his room to find a pen and a piece of paper. He remembers the job he did for the shrine, and he uses that as an inspiration. Takao and Kosuke go to sleep, while Seishu keeps working the whole night. When Takao finally wakes up, he presents him with his final submission. He calls it the stone wall. Miwa and Tamako go to check their results for their school competition. Tamako gets the gold medal while Miwa only manages to grab the silver medal. She behaves just like her master did when he got the second position. Miwa tells the children they should gather their things and clean the house before Seishu returns. Tamako tells her that she spread almost all the junk. Seishu's mother worries, as she wants her son to stay close to her. She writes, "You shouldn't go to the village on the door to stop him from leaving." When he asks her, she tells him that this is her silent protest against him going back to the village. He asks her why she doesn't want him to return home, and she gets angry. Takao tells Seishu that his work has been successfully submitted for the exhibition. Seishu's mother stops Takao, and they all gather at the table. They make factions with Seishu on one side, and the other three on the opposite side. She tells him that earlier, his father decided of sending him to the village, without her consultation. And when she found that he got sick on the island, and he got allergic while playing around with cats, she got worried. Seishu tries to convince them that although the island looks like a boring place with not many facilities, it has much to offer him. On the island, an introvert like him can find many good friends, which the city fails to offer. She counters his argument by saying that since he has been there, he has lost his manners and has changed. Finally, his dad gets up and joins his side of the faction. He tells him that when he was about his age he also went to the island. He shows them his pictures from 25 years ago. Seishu recognizes some of the village's elderly, including the village chief. Seishu's mother gets furious about all of this. Later, when Seishu receives his parcel with Miwa and Tamako's writing practice, she sees the love they have for each other. She finally allows him to go to the village, but before going she asks him to call her more frequently. She tells his dad that their son has changed, he now cares for others, and they care for him too. He tells her that they should also go and visit the island, to which she says yes. Seishu finally arrives at the island. Just like his first visit to this island, he gets to ride with the same man. Only this time the ocean looks very beautiful to him. He arrives at the home, and he is welcomed by all happy faces. Naru asks him about the result, but he tells her that it was good. Although he got 5th position, he was proud of his unique style. They ask him what it was about, and he tells them that it was about the most valuable thing to him. They try to guess what it could be, but they fail. He tells Naru that the time when he is around them is the most important thing to him. If you enjoyed this anime recap, check out more such videos on our channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Also, turn on the bell notification for future uploads and leave a like to help out the channel.